So you need to unmute your mic first.
Hello.
Hello.
It's
Yes.
So, Assalamu alaikum. I am Maham Firoz, Marketing Officer at PFL Education. So, PFL Group International is one of the leading UK-owned and managed student placement agencies. We offer the widest range of services and commitment to our student customers. So, today we have with us Mr. Mohsin Ijaz, who is the student at Otago University. So, sir, would you like to tell us something about Otago University?
Hello, I am Mohsin, and just doing a PhD at University of Otago. Yeah, University of Otago is basically the oldest university in New Zealand, just like 150 or like 152 years old. And if we talk about the ranking, and the University of Otago is in the top 150 ranking in the world. And yeah, I think that's the basic introduction. If anyone else have some question, I'll be happy to answering. And apology, I actually didn't find the time to go through the questions that one of you people shared with me. So uh, I'm sorry about that. So if
That's not a
like
problem,
any
sir.
questions are coming through the talk, then I'll be happy to answer.
We'll go through it. So, sir, my first question would be, like, in which course you are studying at Otago University, and are you satisfied with the teaching methodology and structure?
Thank you very much. I'm doing PhD in physics. The thing is, like the second part of your question, I think is not related to me, because the thing is at University of Otago for PhD students, they don't have any like coursework or teachings. We just need to come in, and because uh, like I can share my experience when I came here on 4th of March 2020, and on 5th of the March I was in the lab. My supervisor took me to the lab, and he said, that's your all the stuff, and this is the project that you need to work on. So we don't have any coursework here. We just need to work like the experiments, doing experiments, getting results, analysis of data. And the thing that I can share here is the like the level of supervision. I am quite happy with my supervisor. He's like fantastic man, and like yeah, he's the best man that I've ever met. So I think I'm quite satisfied with his supervision. For teaching, we don't have
So they are
the
quite
thing.
supportive
Yeah, exactly.
faculty, right? So, how did you enroll for PhD studies? Like, if you can highlight the procedures from admission process till visa grants, so future student can take benefits out of it.
Yeah, I think that's the main question. Uh, yeah, this is actually the main thing is like for PhD student finding the scholarship. So when I finished my masters, I was just uh, because the main thing is for most of the universities in the like the developed countries or even in China, like the main mistake that we people do is like we just find the links on the websites indicating some scholarships, and we find that very fascinating, and we just like try to fill the form and submit your CV like that. Actually, the main point that I would be very happy to mention here is like for PhD student or getting enrolled in PhD, the most important thing is your supervisor. Like you can't do any PhD without any supervisor. So wherever you will apply, the university will ask you that who is the professor, or who is the person who is agreed to accept you in his supervision. So this is the main point. The first thing that people should do is to contact your supervisor, which is highly relevant to your area of the research or your like academic or research background. And for that purpose, if you can give me a couple of minutes, I can go in detail. Is it fine for you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the first thing, I think you like many students just send me messages on the like LinkedIn or Facebook. The first thing that I ask them is to prepare their detailed CV, and like have two uh, reference letters from your like previous supervisor or some professors or assistant professors or even lecturers from your previous institute, and then write a nice email, find the supervisor that you think exactly matches your area of expertise or your previous research background, and then just straightly write him email that I am Mohsen, I want to do PhD in your research group. This is my CV, this is the reference letters from my previous supervisors. So would you be happy to accept me in your supervision? So and also it is very important to mention that I am looking a PhD position on scholarship. So please, if you are like interested or willing to help to guide me or accept me in your supervision, then also please mention some method or types of scholarships, or if like you have your personal project which you can accept me in, so that I can get the financial support for my studies. So this is the main point. Like for me, from a personal experience, I applied in like unlimited number of universities for my PhD. And the thing is, like, if you got the acceptance from supervisor and he's agreed to support you in your scholarship, then I can say that your 80% of the work is finished, like technical point of view. But the thing is, for countries like us, we also have many problems with respect to visas. So before going towards the visa, I can tell you about the admission procedure, which is quite different for all the universities and all the countries. So I think I can share my experience for the University of Otago. Besides this, I also have some experience from China and like from Canada. So if anyone have some questions, I would be happy to help in that way as well. Their procedure is a little different. So after getting your acceptance from supervisor, you just need to apply the admission on the university website for University of Otago and all the universities in the New Zealand, including the Auckland University, Massey University, Victoria University of Wellington, or Canterbury University. The procedure is same. Uh, the very good and the positive thing for New Zealand is that you don't have any deadlines. They accept the PhD students throughout the year. No any like admission open date, no any closure date. So you can just, whenever you can find a supervisor, you can just go to the university website, apply for the admission, just mention the name of the supervisor who is willing to accept you, and like fill all the details, and your application will go through it, and then you will get the final admission letter. And if like admission and if scholarship is also mentioned by the, or the, you're applying on the university scholarship or from the supervisor funding, that's documents, that's not a big deal. So they are like quite good and nice people. It will take like a month or so, but you will not suffer any problem. So after collecting all the documents, then you need to apply the visa. But the main thing I would like to mention here for the PFL is that for all of the universities in the New Zealand, you can't apply the direct admission. So when I got my scholarship and admission letter from the supervisor, I just applied the admission. Oh, I got a wow, I'm like going to New Zealand like tomorrow. And then when I applied for the admission, they sent me email that sorry, you can't apply admission directly. You just need to send your original documents to New Zealand for the verification. I was just like, I can't send my original documents. Like, these are the degrees I spent my 25 or so years. So they just told me that there is another alternate for this. Just go to the PFL. So I'm quite thankful to the team PFL, including the Ifra Shokat from Karachi and the guy Ahmad Kader. He was in the Islamabad. I just went to him. He was very polite and kind guy. So he was the person who was dealing my case. So he just attested my documents, sent to university, and I got the final admission and scholarship letters. And then PFL processed my visa as well, because I was then registered with them. So it took like ages for me to get my visa. I got my visa in 8 months, which is like quite annoying, but I was lucky in that sense because I got my visa exactly before the COVID. So I think that's all the process. Another thing that I think most of the people were thinking about, of course, is the IELTS. So I would like to mention here, for my case, actually I was like not much interested in doing IELTS, but for the case, like both for admission and visa in New Zealand, IELTS is compulsory. For getting admission in any of the university in the New Zealand, you have to do IELTS and or TOEFL. I don't know about the TOEFL or others because I appeared in the IELTS. So you have to secure like minimum of score of 6.5 overall, and with minimum of 6 bands each. So I was lucky. I got 6.5 and 6 each at exactly. So I was quite lucky in that sense. But the thing is, like, I told my supervisor that I don't want to do IELTS at this stage, and then I just to guide that you people can just apply without the IELTS as well. So I got the conditional letters from the university. This is all of your documents are okay. You are ready to enroll. Your scholarship is fine. The only document that you need to provide now is the IELTS with these conditions. So then I quickly just go through the IELTS. I applied for the IELTS. I appeared in the test. I got my results, and then I submit the IELTS results to university, and they give me the final letter, and then I applied for it. So this is very important to mention that you people don't need to rush or hurry towards the IELTS, because I know it's very expensive, and of course because it's difficult because English is not our language. So you people don't need to hurry or rush for that. You people can apply for the admissions and other process. If you can see that, or you can see strong chances that all of your documents are clear, your strong chances for getting admission and scholarship, then you can go for the IELTS. I think someone have question. If you people are happy to take the questions, for me it's fine.
Yes, sir, we'll cater these questions along the journey. So, sir, you talked about the funding. So, are you self-funded student or fully sponsored student from Otago or government of Pakistan, like HEC or any other?
Uh, are you talking about myself? That
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Actually, I'm not funded by the Pakistan government. I got my scholarship from University of Otago. Uh, University of Otago also have their like different kind of scholarships. When I applied to my professor, he just asked me to go for the Otago doctoral scholarship. So any of you, if interested, he can note down the name Otago doctoral scholarship. So I just applied for the Otago doctoral scholarship, and I was successful in that. And after that, I just applied for my admission. That scholarship belongs to the Ministry of Business and Incubation Center, New Zealand, and it's also not related to my project of my supervisor. I am totally funded by the government of the New Zealand.
Right. So, sir, how did you manage this scholarship? If you would like to highlight on this a bit more.
Do you want to do? Are you asking about like how I'm managing my finance? Is it your question?
Yeah, kind of how you managing it.
Yeah, the thing is like one thing before your question I would like to mention is that if anyone is applying for the PhD scholarship in New Zealand, the thing is he don't need to worry about the type of scholarship. All of the scholarships for PhD students in the New Zealand, the amount is same. Either it's you are on the supervisor project. I'm not talking about the HEC scholarship. I'm talking about all the scholarships within the New Zealand. You are going for the Otago doctoral scholarship. You are going for the Dodwall scholarship. You are going for any of the supervisor project. The amount of the amount that you will receive is same for all of the students within the New Zealand. First thing, and second thing is for managing finance, I'm quite happy with this. The amount of scholarship that I'm getting is quite handsome. uh, and another thing is you will get your scholarships within the New Zealand on every month, like third Wednesday or Thursday of every month, and the amount is 2250 to $2250, and some people are just getting like $20 or $30 extra plus minus like this, but overall the amount is similar. So $2250, and for me, because I'm bachelor, I'm living alone, no family, this is my room. If anyone is interested, I can show. I think it's like I don't have fancy sceneries behind me like most of the people has during the meetings. I'm sorry for that, but the thing is my room is quite comfortable. I am enjoying my life. I am eating nice food, like all of the things. I have visited most of the cities in the New Zealand within, like I came here 1.5 year. I visited most of the cities in the New Zealand. I'm taking flights because these are two islands. I'm enjoying my life, and the thing is, I'm like saving half of my scholarship.
Right.
So I
So,
think this will help. This will be the right answer of your question. Yeah.
yeah,
So you
sure.
can guess, like I'm doing all the things and I'm saving half of my scholarship.
So, sir, you talked about your room. So, the accommodation is provided by the university. Like, is it on campus or off campus?
The thing is like the university for my room, I booked it by myself. I'm paying rent by myself. The university provides you the money, like $2250 per month, and you need to have your book your room, manage your food, like all of the other enjoyments. Nothing will be covered, but if you will be participating in, like I was in a symposium last week in Auckland, and all of the things were covered by the university. So these things will be covered by the university, but like your room, your food, in fact indirectly these things are also covered because you are receiving your stipend for these things. Another thing is university also have their uni flats, which are exactly not on the campus, but they are like more closer to the university. Like for my room, it's like 15 or so minutes at walking distance from my department, so it's quite nice. And the university provides their room as well, but their rent is a bit higher. They call it as uni flats. I don't like that because I don't like the quality of their rooms. They are quite cold. The windows are not good because even now in New Zealand the temperature is around 4 degrees, so it's very cold. So for my room it's quite nice. I have heater, all the things included in my room, and the rent is not that high. Another thing that I would like to mention here, is that if you people are anyone is interested in coming to New Zealand for PhD, I would highly suggest to choose University of Otago. Not because I'm studying here, because I visited almost all of the universities in the New Zealand: University of Auckland, Auckland University of Technology, Canterbury, and Victoria University. I visited all of them. They are quite good universities. University of Auckland ranking is better than Otago, but the thing is, like, for student, Dunedin is the best city to live in because the accommodation is quite cheap. The city is not quite big. You will not be able to get like engaged with too many people because community is quite small. You will not see many Pakistanis here as you will see in the Auckland, but Auckland is very, very expensive. Wellington is very, very expensive. Christchurch is better for Victoria University, but for myself, I will highly recommend the people to choose University of Otago if they really want to like enjoy their life, save the money, and have nice education.
Right. So how is the quality of life in New Zealand?
That's I think that's a very detailed question. So I would like to summarize it. I think quality of life, I will choose the weather first. The thing is, like, this is the opposite pole of the world. I don't know. I think it's the North Pole and the Pakistan is in the South Pole, or it's or whatever. But this is the opposite pole. The thing is, like, if first thing is the time difference. I will be like quite honest. The time difference is too huge. I don't like this thing because like it's 7 hours ahead from the Pakistan, and I think New Zealand is the country which is most ahead country in the world. Their time is, I think, most ahead as compared to all of the countries. And another thing is it is very far from the world. The Australia is the closest country, and the flight is like 5 to 6 hours. From Pakistan, I took like 38 hours or so to reach my city. So in that sense, I don't like New Zealand. The first thing. The second thing is the temperature. Temperature is quite good. Like it was now it's winter because it's the opposite pole. So if there is summer in the other part of the world, in New Zealand it's like the opposite. So now it's winter. The temperature is not that kind of cold, but is also not that kind of like moderate. In Auckland and Wellington and Christchurch, the temperature is better, but Dunedin is more colder. Like it's now like the temperature is around 2 or 3 degrees, I think less than 4 degrees. So for summer, we have like December to February, 3 months for summer, and some kind of March. And like the temperature will go up to maximum of 25 degrees. And in winter, like it goes to like -3 or -4 degrees. Sometimes it's snow in Dunedin, but Auckland, Wellington, I don't hear that the snow or something like this. And the other thing is the safety, because like the most important thing is the racism. I never seen racism in the New Zealand since I'm here like 1 year and 4 months or so. It's quite safe. We have mosque in Dunedin. I try to go mosque once a day or like sometimes 2 times or 3 times, but like yeah, but in Dunedin we are lucky because in New Zealand the Muslim community is not too huge, so mosques are quite limited. But we do have one mosque in Dunedin. It's quite big, and it's very close to my department, but a little far from my room. So it's also fine. We have nice mosque and no racism. And for financials, I already told temperature is fine. And another thing that you can enjoy is because it consists of two islands. One is North Island. I'm in South Island. So like if people like who are doing like for doing PhD student, it's very, very good to choose New Zealand because you can enjoy your life, because it has two islands, and whenever you need to commute, you will take some flights. Like you will be spending many times in the air. So in that sense, it's quite good, and you can enjoy like some greenery, like forest, trees, water, and all these things. And the food quality is also quite good, and you will get enough meat, milk, because their main backbone is dairy. So you will enjoy some meat food, like meats, food, eggs, milk, these kind of stuff. But a bit expensive for students, but it's fine, it's manageable. So I don't think, if you have any question, like if I'm missing anything, you can ask.
No, sir.
I try to wind it up.
Yeah. So, sir, the student wants to ask something,
Yeah, please.
but he wants to ask directly.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, brother.
Please, yes, please.
Yeah. Hello, brother.
I'm sorry, Ahmad, I can't hear your voice. Could you please a bit loud?
Yeah, sure. I
Hello,
think
brother.
he's
Can you please?
not here, right? Yeah, he's here.
Hello.
Yeah, now I can hear you. Please.
Yeah. It's very pleasurable to be able to talk with you. I am Muhammad Ahmed Raza from Islamabad. I also got approval from Otago University, and I am waiting for some kind of professor approval because nowadays university is not accepting applications for scholarship. So my question is, because you told your background also from China, I have done my master from China. So is there any language barrier in New Zealand as well? Because in China, I have faced a lot of language barrier. Chinese labmates don't want to interact with you, and Chinese professors also do not want to talk with you because of language barrier. So is there any such kind of things in New Zealand as well?
Thank you very much, Amar. It's a nice question. First thing is my background is not from China. I am graduated from Pakistan. I just came here for PhD. I just mentioned that I have some experience of getting scholarship from China because I was selected on Chinese Scholarship Council at BIT, but then I came to New Zealand. Your question is quite good. The thing is like in New Zealand, the first language is English. I think like I know that English is not our first language, but your English is quite good, even better than me. When I came here, I hardly got like 6.5 bands in IELTS. But the thing is, when you come, when you are here, if you learn Chinese, I think English is a bit more easier. And the second thing is the behavior. It's New Zealand. It's totally different from China. I had some interaction with some China, like even now my co-supervisor is from China, so I can totally understand what you are talking about. The behavior of like the professors from different parts of the world is quite different. In New Zealand, the professors are really very nice. They will work with you within the lab. They will talk to you. And even my professor, because he knows that our English is like not that great as theirs, because not first language, he always talked to me like in very slow and like in very polite way. And even if I don't understand, I can ask him questions like 100 times. He just gave me his mobile number. You can text me, you can call me. I would be very, but one thing is they are very strict in work. I mean, not that kind of strict, but you have to do your work. Like if you're in a PhD, you have to do your work at your own. This is the one thing. But if you have any questions, if you have any troubles, if you have any problems, they are really kind. I don't know about all of the professors, but like I was in a symposium last week, and I meet many professors from like different universities, including Massey, Victoria, and means different university in New Zealand. All of them were quite nice. I talked with many professors, and like they were answering all of my stupid questions. So they are really nice. So I don't think that if you will come to New Zealand, you will face any problem.
So I have heard about Maori language. Is that true?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Could you please speak a bit loud?
I have heard about Maori language. Is that true?
Yeah, the Maori. The thing is like Maori were the settlers of New Zealand. The national or the first or the official language in New Zealand is English. They use some like Maori words in their emails, but yeah, you don't need to learn that. It's fine. You don't need to
Okay,
worry about
brother.
that.
I hope I will not face any language barrier in
No, not
New
at all,
Zealand.
not at all.
Yeah. And the second thing, bro, that is very important. I really miss my food in China. So, is there any such kind of barrier over there? And the more important thing, I faced loneliness in China, very less interaction, uh, and even small problems were quite very bigger. So, can you please elaborate these problems as well?
The first thing is like the food. I'm sure you will face the same problem here, even more worse than China. Especially in Dunedin, we don't have much food quality. I'm now cooking my food at my own, so you will also hopefully you will also learn. You already have an overseas experience, so you are I think more familiar than me in these things. The food problem is same in New Zealand as well. So first question. The second question was about loneliness. Yes, of course, if you are living out of your family, you are living abroad, you will face these things. But the thing is, I really enjoy living in New Zealand. Of course, I feel many times loneliness. Like my sister, my youngest sister, she died a couple of months ago. I can do nothing, I can't travel. So these things are like these are the drawbacks of living abroad. Like if you are taking any decision, in any decisions of the life, not just this one, you have to accept the positive and negative points of that decision. Like if you are doing PhD abroad, it's a good thing, but like it also have some negative or the drawbacks as well. So you have to accept this decision with its drawbacks as well. So of course you will miss your food, you will miss your family, but the thing is, it's the life in the New Zealand is quite, I don't have experience from China, but as I have some friends there, so what I heard is that the scholarship is quite better in New Zealand, the living is quite better, the people are quite nice, the professors are quite helpful, the duration of your PhD will be better than China. So these things are quite helpful in that sense, but that problems will still be there, of course.
Okay, bro, it's very nice to talk with you, and I have prepared all of my documents, and I'm sure I will apply within couple of months, and I hope to meet you over there very soon.
Yeah, of course, if you have any question you can just ask me, like,
Would you like
yeah.
to drop your email address to me?
Yeah, I'll drop later. Yes, I'll drop in the message, or you can just ask PFL. They also have my email, or I'll just send you in the tag in the chat messages.
Okay, bro. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, sir. So we should continue with the question.
Yeah.
Mr. Emmer have pretty much like covered the question. So I would like to ask about, is it easy for the students to support their studies by working part-time?
These things vary from city to city. As I already mentioned, that Auckland quite expensive, Wellington quite expensive, Dunedin is quite cheaper for PhD. Like this, and another thing is these things depends on the goals of the student. Like if someone is really coming here to get his PhD, or to really coming here to learn something, to study something, to get his degree, then I would recommend to find a scholarship. Because like in Dunedin, if you are like living alone, you are single, then even then it's quite hard. You can find a job part-time, it's quite easy, and the salary is also quite fine, because the minimum wage rate in New Zealand is like $19 per hour. But you can, because like if someone is coming here for PhD, he's like a bit already experienced, he have master's degree, and he can get like the tutors or teaching jobs within the university as well. The salaries are quite good, but even then, like the expenses for living in New Zealand is very high, even in Dunedin. So for if someone will ask me, like if he really want to come here for PhD or study, I will not recommend coming without any scholarships. Or if someone is coming here like for he just want to get rid of Pakistan, he can probably come here, but he will have to suffer a lot and a lot to complete his degree.
So are you doing part-time job?
I was offered, like just not me, like University of Otago, they offer the tutorship and teaching to all of their PhD students. My supervisor do offered me, but my intention was to do was to more focus on my research to complete my PhD within time. So as I already mentioned, my scholarship was quite handsome. So at the moment I'm not doing that, but probably at the third year of my PhD to save some more money, because I will be in some safe situation. Like if I'll have some more results and data to process and write some chapters, so probably in that time when I'll be free from experiments, I will be doing some tutorship or lectureship within the university.
Right. So sir, there's one more student who would like to ask something. Zainab.
Sure.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum.
First of all, I'm so sorry to hear about the loss. Allah ताला आपको सब्र दे. Secondly, मैं ये पूछना चाह रही थी कि मेरा case is halfway done. Like I have the acceptance, and due to COVID, everything was upside down. So I didn't get the scholarship done till now. But मेरा admission हो चुका हुआ है. मुझे जो एक छोटा सा कंसर्न था, अगर आप वो क्लियर कर सकें. यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से कुछ जो मुझे हिंट्स मिल रहे हैं, these were कि maybe in 2022 Feb शायद ओपन हो जाएं बॉर्डर्स. So do you really think कि बॉर्डर्स ओपन होने के बाद से वो दोबारा से नहीं कहेंगे कि हम अप्लाई करें, और उसी प्रोसीजर एंड उसी स्क्रूटनी के थ्रू they'll offer us scholarships, और या फिर वो जो हमारे पुराने इंटेक्स हैं उन्हीं को ही वो कंसिडर करके उसी की बेसिस के ऊपर वो हमें अलाउ करेंगे कि हम स्कॉलरशिप के एप्लीकेशन को दोबारा से अपेयर करें. दूसरा ये कि जब हमारा लाइक उस तब तक होता है, मेरा आइल्स एक्सपायर हो चुका है, सो मुझे दोबारा आइल्स भी अभी से प्रिपेयर करना चाहिए. मेरा ओवरऑल 7 था, So अभी मुझे दोबारा से क्या IELTS देने के लिए रेडी रहना चाहिए या क्योंकि मेरी एप्लीकेशन थ्रू हो चुकी हुई है तो मुझे अभी IELTS की फिक्र नहीं करनी चाहिए?
मुझे आप जरा थोड़ा सा मजीद क्लियर कर दें, आपकी एप्लीकेशन जो आप बता रहे हैं एडमिशन एप्लीकेशन, उसके बारे में जरा मजीद बता दें कि कहाँ तक क्लियर हो चुकी है, और मुझे समझ नहीं आई स्कॉलरशिप एप्लीकेशन का क्या बना और एडमिशन कहाँ तक क्लियर हो चुका, वो मुझे जरा मजीद एलाबोरेट कर दें प्लीज।
मेरा एडमिशन हो चुका हुआ है यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ओटागो में। मुझे सुपरवाइजर का एक्सेप्टेंस भी है एंड एप्लीकेशन भी मेरी एक्सेप्टेड है और एडमिशन हो चुका हुआ है। लेकिन एडमिशन जो है वो सिर्फ एडमिशन ही मुझे ऑफर आ चुकी हुई है। मैंने टिल अभी तक उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया ड्यू टू द स्कॉलरशिप सर्कमस्टांसेस एंड द बॉर्डर क्लोजर। सो लेकिन केस थ्रू PFL डेफिनेटली मेरा प्रोसीड हो रहा है। सो मुझे सिर्फ ये कंसर्न है कि आफ्टर 2022 लाइक जब भी बॉर्डर्स ओपन होते हैं तो क्या देयर विल बी a chance के वो दोबारा से कहें कि हम दोबारा से रीअप्लाई करें या रिकंसिडरेशन होगी हमारे एप्लीकेशन की फॉर द स्कॉलरशिप एप्लीकेशन?
ओके, थैंक यू। आई डोंट थिंक वो रिकंसिडरेशन या इस तरह का कुछ चांस होगा। उसमें यह कि अगर आपके ऑलरेडी वो एप्लीकेशन एक्सेप्ट कर चुके हैं तो वो ऑफ कोर्स उसको प्रोसेस करेंगे। द थिंग इज लाइक दे कैन हैव सम डिफिकल्टीज इफ दे आर ऑफरिंग यू सम स्कॉलरशिप। अगर स्कॉलरशिप नहीं है तो फिर वो बिल्कुल भी आपको तंग नहीं करेंगे। उसमें आपको एडमिशन लेटर अगर अभी मिल चुका है तो दोबारा भी मिल जाएगा। और जो आप बॉर्डर्स ओपनिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, लाइक देयर वैक्सीनेशन रेट इज क्वाइट स्लो। दे आर वैक्सीनेटिंग द पीपल, they have started the vaccination and they have planned to finish all the vaccinations till end of this year, so that's why they are expecting the opening of borders in Feb or so. But to be honestly speaking, I don't have any belief on immigration New Zealand। या किसी भी टाइम किसी भी टाइम कोई भी इनकी न्यूज आ सकती है। मेरा अपना वीजा अभी एक्सपायर था, 5 माह सेंटर प्रोसेस है, आई एम ऑन इंटरम वीजा। बट ये जो इमिग्रेशन न्यूजीलैंड है, इनके जो वो दे आर वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट इन देयर लॉज, दे आर क्वाइट स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, लाइक यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट एनीथिंग। सो उस पे मैं नहीं, आपको कुछ भी इसमें कोई भी कमेंट्स नहीं कर सकेगा, कोई भी आपको कुछ नहीं बता सकेगा कि बॉर्डर्स like New Zealand is quite strict in these things. So if you can see, I don't think any other country like इतना strict border closure शायद ही किसी country में हो जितना इन्होंने न्यूजीलैंड ने की। Even they are not allowing their citizens to travel easily, like there are too many restrictions for their citizens as well. So for the opening of border, I don't have any idea, I can't share you anything about that. But the thing is, for admission, if you already have the admission letter, they will of course accept you for that. But if there is any expiry date on admission letter, because the thing is like admission is mostly the admission is not that kind of problem. The main problem is the scholarship. Like if some professor is offering you any scholarship, they have their own deadlines. If they think that you will not get visa in reasonable amount of time, then of course their funding will expire. So they will be like try to find some students who are onshore, who are living within the New Zealand. So that's another case. As you told that you just got the admission letter, not the scholarship. So I can say that like they will not reject your admission letter because but for scholarship, I'm not sure. I don't think that they are giving any scholarship to international students, particularly in this year. Probably next year. For this year, I'm sure that they are not accepting any international students for scholarships. So like admission, maybe it's fine and they'll consider your admission letter for next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
So, so lastly, I would like to ask if you want to say something to the students who are looking forward to study PhD and fully funded scholarships. Any last words?
Yeah. The thing is, for New Zealand, you should focus on your your research background. The thing is like you should have some nice CGPA in your masters, and the second thing is of course you should have like a couple of research papers, at least one as a first author in some like reputable journal. That's what I have experienced in the past. Like some of my colleagues, they applied, and like for Otago, you should have both of the things, nice CGPA and some article as a first author. So that's the main requirement. So if any student who have just finished his master, he or she should focus on like writing his or her paper, submit in some reputable journal, and that's the most important thing for university scholarships. But if like on the supervisor's funding, then he may only rely on your expertise. Of course, he will also have some criteria to sort out the students because they receive huge amount of emails throughout the world, so they also have some criteria. So most of the professors, they just look upon that you have some nice article, what is your background, what are your like expertise, what you know, what's your CGPA, these kind of things. So these are very important. And for IELTS, you, I think, don't need to worry about that. If you get the other things done, you can do IELTS later. And another thing is, I don't think that New Zealand will be accepting the PhD students this year, but probably they will accept some students next year.
All right. So that's it from my side. And the session was really helpful. So I think that's it.
Yeah. Thank you very much. If
So much.
any, yeah, I think someone is asking for my email, so I'll drop in the, is
Sure.
it fine? Okay. I can drop it in the, so anyone, if have some questions, I don't use Facebook too much, just receive sometimes some messages and I will be looking at them like a week or so later. So it's quite embarrassing for me. So I'm more quick on emails rather than Facebook. So if anyone has questions, like especially for Otago University or even for the Auckland or Victoria University, like you people can just ask me. And so I'll be quite happy to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, sir, for the support. So that's all. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.